Your eyes are telling me something very different. So I really want you to be honest with me because this is what I do for a living. Admitted that I had been drinking to my watch commander and they launched an investigation.
And you were ultimately convicted of a DWI in that case, right?
I was.
It does appear that she had perhaps exaggerated some of Ms. Good's own statements. People versus Natalie Good. Ms. Good, good afternoon. We are on for a motions hearing. Defense alleging that the stop was not supported by reasonable suspicion or probable cause. Mr. Toffer, you may be able to dial it in a little better than that. Your specific argument today?
Your Honor, I'm alleging that there wasn't reasonable suspicion for the essential or for the initial stop. I'm arguing that there wasn't reasonable suspicion to extend the stop and expand the scope of the stop from a traffic infraction investigation to a full-blown DUI investigation. Arguing that that she was subjected to a warrantless arrest, there wasn't probable cause for that. That she didn't that consent to the roadside maneuvers wasn't voluntary. That probable cause was lacking to give an express consent advisement and to require that she submit to a chemical test, and arguing that there was no probable cause to limit her options to a blood test. After she was cuffed, she was searched, arguing that because the arrest was unlawful, any evidence obtained during that search must be suppressed.
Did you get all that, Mr. Matthews?
I did.
Okay, and if the people are ready to begin with their presentation of evidence.
The people called Deputy Young.
All right.
Or Sergeant Young.
Hello, ma'am. Go ahead and have a seat. We'll get you sworn in. If you would raise your right hand, do you affirm under penalty of perjury the testimony you give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you, ma'am. Go ahead, Mr. Matthews.
Sergeant Young, can you state your name and spell your last name?
Yep, Mackenzie Young, Young.
Okay, thank you. How are you employed?
I'm a sergeant with Park County Sheriff's Office.
For how long?
I've been a sergeant since November of 2025. I've been post-certified deputy since 2021.
And what are your duties?
I'm a patrol sergeant. Right now, at the time of this case, I was a deputy. So I respond to calls, make traffic stops, investigate DUIs, a little bit of everything.
Why did you stop the vehicle?
So I initially saw the vehicle traveling northbound. It did not have any license plate lights, and the tail light was a string LED light to appear as a functional tail light. As I began following it, I saw multiple driving actions. So I saw the vehicle's driver's side tires cross over the double yellow median. That is the yellow line in the center of the road. I saw it come back over. I saw the passenger side tires cross over the white fog line, which is the white line on either side of the edge of the road. I saw it go back over the median again, come back over the fog line 2 more times. At one point, it met the dirt shoulder.
And what tests did you perform?
I performed horizontal gaze nystagmus, walk-in turn, and one leg.
And Sergeant Young, how many clues did you observe on the HGN?
0.
I'll come back to that. On the walk-in turn, what did you observe on the walk-in turn?
She stepped offline.
Just one time?
I don't recall.
Okay. And any clues on the one leg stand?
No.
When you placed Ms. Good under arrest, did you find any substances on her?
Yes.
Okay, what did you find?
So she was wearing 2 pairs of bottoms, I suppose is the word. When I was doing my search to ensure that she didn't have any contraband on her, she's wearing, I believe, sweatpants on the outside and either shorts or another pair of sweatpants underneath. In those pockets, I located a folded up piece of tin foil with a white crystal substance inside of it.
And did you invoke express consent?
Yes.
And what test did you request Ms. Good perform?
I requested she take a blood test.
And why a blood test?
Because based on my observations and the roadside maneuvers, I did not believe that she had any alcohol in her system. If any, it was little. as I did not see the clues I would typically see when somebody's impaired by alcohol. So I requested that she take a blood test.
Sergeant Young, are you a drug recognition expert?
I am not.
That piece of tinfoil you found in Miss Good's pocket, what was on that tinfoil?
So there was a white crystalline substance on the tinfoil.
And in your training and experience, what did you suspect that to be?
I believed it was methamphetamine.
And then when you asked Miss Good whether she would take a blood draw, how did she answer?
She consented to a blood draw.
Did you ask her about the tinfoil, who that belonged to?
Yes, she stated that she cleans houses for her job, and that she, excuse me, found the tinfoil on the ground and put it in her pocket.
No further questions.
Thank you, Mr. Matthews. Let's go to cross-examination, Mr. Toffer.
Sounds good, Your Honor. All right, good afternoon, Sergeant Young. I want to start today by discussing some of your experience. You testified on direct examination that you had done, what, a couple of dozen DUI investigations at that point?
Correct.
How many of those investigations involved driving under the influence of drugs versus driving under the influence of alcohol?
I don't recall the exact number.
Ballpark?
I couldn't tell you. I've been at 2 different agencies, so I don't recall the exact number.
Less than 5, more than 5,
More than 5.
less than 10?
Probably not less than 10, no.
Have you ever been qualified as an expert on a driving under the influence case involving drugs?
I don't recall.
You would agree your CV does not include anything about being qualified as an expert, is that right?
An expert in what?
An expert as an expert witness in a drug-related DUI case.
I don't believe there's anything on my CV that has to do with that.
Let's talk a bit more. I want to just dive in a little bit more on your experience. So you were a patrol deputy in Douglas County from June 2021 to December 2022. Is that correct?
Correct.
That's roughly 18 months. Is that right?
Correct.
And then after that, you went from being a patrol deputy to be a dispatcher. Is that correct?
Yes.
Fair to say that's not a common career path.
It was for me
Why?
because that was the decision that was made.
Why was that decision made?
Objection relevance, Your Honor.
Mr. Toffer, if you can throw some reasoning for relevance in.
Your Honor, this goes to her qualifications. I mean, I would argue, I think it's fair inference that that's a bit of a demotion. And I think being able to question her about her experience goes to her overall level of training, her overall credibility, as well as whether or not she's qualified to opine on some of the issues.
And Your Honor, I would ask the defense, just ask the witness, was she ever disciplined? Was the witness ever demoted?
I'm going to overrule the objection and let defense counsel pose the questions he would like.
Why was that, and I don't want to put words in your mouth, why was that the decision that was made?
Because I was demoted at the time.
For what?
I was involved in an off-duty car crash.
Go on.
I was involved in an off-duty car crash, and I admitted that I had been drinking to my watch commander, and they launched an investigation a week after, as they did nothing on scene.
And you were ultimately convicted of a DWI in that case, right?
I was.
Okay. Let's talk about some things you didn't observe. You didn't observe her speeding during that point in time, did you?
I did not.
Didn't observe her driving too slow for traffic, did you?
I did not.
She had her headlights on, is that correct?
That's correct.
Didn't run any sort of stop sign or stoplight, right?
And there's none of those in that area, so that would be a no.
And you would agree that the license plate light and those LED lights that you discussed as being a substitute for the headlight, those are equipment violations, is that right?
That's what caught my eye initially.
Okay, gotcha. One thing you're looking for when investigating a potential DUI is how a driver responds when you put your lights on and initiate a traffic stop. Is that correct?
That could be part of it.
You're looking to see whether or not they are slow to respond. Is that right?
Yes.
Whether they pull off in an appropriate area.
Yes,
Whether they have jerky movements when they're pulling over, is that correct?
sure.
You didn't observe anything out of the ordinary on the way that Ms. Good responded to you initiating the traffic stop, is that right?
Not that I noted.
Okay, and you didn't record any of Ms. Good's driving, did you?
We're not equipped with dash cameras. So, and unfortunately where my body cam is on my body is meant to capture when I'm on scene of something, and you wouldn't be able to see from where I'm sitting out in the driver's seat besides the steering wheel.
Okay, and regardless of why that is, there's no recording, no video recording that exists of her driving from that night, is there?
That is correct.
Okay, let's talk about the next phase of your investigation. Once somebody pulls over, you move into what's called the contact phase of the investigation. Is that correct?
Correct.
During that contact phase, you're observing the person's demeanor, their behavior, how they respond to your questions during face-to-face contact. Is that correct?
Yes.
One thing that you're looking for is whether or not somebody is able to divide their attention between tasks. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And the reason you're looking for that is because driving requires somebody to divide their attention between multiple tasks.
Correct.
For example, you're maybe ask somebody to get their documents while also ask them where they're going, just questioning them to see if they can do multiple things at once, right?
Yes.
One thing you're looking for is whether or not somebody fumbles over their documents, hands you the wrong document, et cetera. Is that correct?
Yes.
Ms. Good never fumbled over her documents, did she?
Not that I can recall.
And despite not demonstrating proof of registration, she was able to provide you with the correct documents aside from that, right? Driver's license.
He handed me a license and a proof of insurance.
Okay. She wasn't confused during this initial encounter, was she? She was able to understand your questions, provide appropriate answers. Is that correct?
Yes.
You're aware that being pulled over can be a nerve-wracking experience by the police. Is that right?
Sure.
Not necessarily indicative of criminal behavior, right?
Correct.
With fidgeting, hyperactivity, those can be signs of nervousness. You'd agree with that?
And by itself, yes.
Let's go into some of those other observations that you made. And before we do that, I want to differentiate between what we call the standardized field sobriety tests, the HGN, walk and turn, and one leg stand, and some of these other just observations that you can make of somebody's eyes, speech, et cetera. So that word in the first word in SFST is standardized, right?
Correct.
That means that those maneuvers are conducted according to a pretty specific set of guidelines and ensuring that the procedure is done the same every time you administer them, right?
Correct.
And the reason why those tests are done and the reason why you learn those tests is because those tests have been validated by scientific review. Is that correct?
Yes.
You testified on direct examination that she had a dry mouth. What does that mean?
There was little to no saliva that I could see when she was talking to me, and the outside of her mouth appeared crusted.
So you're making this observation during a conversation where she's seated in the driver's seat and you're standing next to the car. Is that what you're?
Correct.
You didn't like go in with a flashlight and examine her mouth.
I mean, I'm standing next to her with a flashlight
But
at
you
about
didn't
eye level.
get up close and say, I want to look at your mouth, shine that specifically. I mean, your observations are made while you're having a conversation with her.
Correct.
Could be a variety of explanations for dry mouth.
I'm sorry, is that a question?
Yes. Would you agree with that?
Again, I don't know.
Just pose a hypothetical to you. I mean, I've been here all day and I haven't had much water. My lips are feeling dry. My mouth is feeling dry. Not having water for a long time, that could cause somebody to have a dry mouth, right?
Objection, speculation.
I'll sustain the objection. Don't answer the question. Next question, please.
All right. Let's talk about her comment that she was on Suboxone. At the time of this stop, you'd agree that you knew very little about Suboxone.
I would not agree with that.
What did you know about Suboxone at that point in time?
So I knew that it was used to treat addiction, and I knew that it was an opioid agonist.
What she had told you was that she had used Suboxone hours earlier, like 14 hours earlier, right?
She told me, I don't recall the exact time. I believe it was 10 to 11 o'clock.
Okay. And you wrote in your report to 10 to 11 o'clock. So that's what, 12 to 14 hours beforehand? Is that right?
I'm not in the capacity to do math right now. So my stop was at 1:30. She told me 10 to 11 that day.
Okay. But generally, when you're writing reports, you use the military time, the 24-hour time. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I didn't understand the question.
Sure. When you're writing reports, you're using, a 24-hour time clock. For example, 10 p.m. would be 2000 hours. Is that right?
2,200 hours,
Oh,
yes.
2200 hours. My math is off too. And you would agree that you wrote in your report that she told you she had taken her Suboxone at 10 or 11 in the morning. Is that right?
Yes, that's,
Okay.
yep, what I wrote.
She told you that she took Suboxone every day. Is that right?
I don't recall.
Okay. I'm going to come back to this Suboxone issue in a bit, but for now, let's talk about these roadside maneuvers and the evidence that you had. So you hadn't observed any controlled substances in the car before requesting that she do roadsides, right?
I did not.
You didn't observe any paraphernalia in the car, is that right?
I did not.
She didn't make any statements acknowledging that she was in possession of a controlled substance, is that right?
That is correct.
You testified on direct that she had declined declined to let you search the car, is that right?
Correct.
And I mean, did that factor into your decision to require her to do or to offer roadsides?
No,
Okay, because you're aware that somebody can turn down a request like that because they have the right to refuse a warrantless search in these circumstances. Is that right? Correct? Okay.
correct.
The time of the stop, you didn't know how long Suboxone stayed in somebody's system, did you?
I did not.
Your belief about Suboxone is that you use it and then you get off it. Is that right?
I wouldn't say I believe that. I know that it's used to treat certain substance addiction.
Okay, well, there was a period of time where you were speaking with another officer in this case. Is that correct?
Yes,
During that conversation, do you recall saying, because Suboxone, you're supposed to from my understanding, use it and then get off of it? Do you recall that?
I don't recall that.
Okay. I'm going to pull up a clip of the body cam and we'll return to that. Those tests, the 3 standardized field sobriety tests, you stated that you observed 0 of 6 clues on the HGN test. Is that correct?
Correct.
The walk and turn test involves, and I don't need to get deep into the math, but involves 9 separate clues that you're looking for, or 8 separate clues that you're looking for. Is that right?
I believe so.
And it requires somebody to take a number of steps, turn around, take a number of steps back. Is that correct?
That's part of it.
So there are a lot of opportunities during the course of that for you to observe a clue. Is that right?
I believe there'd be 8 opportunities.
Well, 8 opportunities for each step. Is that fair to say?
Sure.
Okay. And you only observed a 1 clue during the walk and turn. Is that correct?
I don't recall. I know I noted stepped offline, but I don't know if it was multiple times, but typically when I notate clues, 1 clue, there's not 8 clues for one clue, if you understand what I'm saying. So I
Sure.
notated the clue that I observed. I don't know how many times that happened.
In your report, you didn't write anything along the lines of stepped off the line multiple times.
I did not write that in my report.
Okay. I mean, the fact that she had admitted to using Suboxone that morning was something that factored into your decision to arrest her, wasn't it?
Yes,
Despite the fact that you didn't know how long the effects of Suboxone lasts?
that's correct. Because based on the totality of the circumstances of what I was seeing, I believe that she was impaired.
Have you ever received any sort of Suboxone specific training as far as what to look for in a driving case, of how that might impact somebody's driving?
I'm not a DRE or a drug recognition expert, so I would not be privy to that information.
Okay, so the answer to that question is no.
Correct.
Mr. Toffer, whenever you're ready with the audio clip, go ahead.
Sure.
On the truck,
Oh, it's not, there's not?
license plate light.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you're required to have one of those.
Okay.
Additionally, you didn't use your turn signal when merging at the top of Crow Hill, right there when I was behind you. When two lanes are going into one, you gotta use your turn signal.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. And then at the bottom in Bailey, you cross over the fog line a couple times.
What's the fog line?
The white line.
Oh, okay.
Yep. So those are the reasons for the stop. Do you have your license,
Yes, I
registration,
do.
proof of insurance? Is this your truck?
No, it's my boyfriend's. It's his
Okay.
work truck, and that's why I'm not used to driving it. He has a flat tire in Denver, right outside Denver right now, so I'm bringing him a jack.
Okay.
Here's my license. Let me pull up insurance real fast.
So I just want to stop here. When you were talking about observing dry mouth during your conversation with Ms. Good, is this the period when you observed that dry mouth? Is this the distance you were from her?
This is as close as I think I get during the initial contact, so probably.
Sounds good.
I have to ask him. I can try and call him and see if it's in the truck somewhere that I just don't know about.
Okay. Have you taken any drugs or alcohol today?
No, not at all.
Okay. Your eyes are telling me something very different. So
I'm
I really want you to be honest with me because
No, for
this
sure.
is what I do for a living.
No, I
Okay,
understand.
so recognize that.
yes.
Your eyes are telling me something completely different.
hmm
Okay, so be honest with me
Yeah,
and I will work with you.
I understand.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm as cool of a cop as I can be,
No, and I appreciate it.
and I have a lot Subutex. But when he's called me, I drank like 2 Red Bulls and I'm a little jittery. So, but I have to submit drug testing. Like I don't, Okay, and why do you have to submit to drug testing?
because I'm on Subutex, so it's a bicycle health. Like 2 years ago, I found myself on the wrong end of a fentanyl addiction because I thought I was taking Oxy. And so coming off of that, it's just like a program that's nationwide, I guess. And they help people come off of it, basically.
So I want to highlight where Ms. Good was talking about why she is on Subutex. What she said, you testified on direct examination that she had told you that she had overdosed. Is that what you said?
Yes.
What she explained there was that she found herself on the long end of a fentanyl, the wrong end of a fentanyl addiction 2 years ago. Is that correct?
In that clip, yes.
She didn't say anything in that clip about overdosing, did she?
Not in that clip.
When did she tell you that she overdosed?
I don't know, but I believe at some point she stated that she had an overdose because she believed that she was on Oxy and it was a fentanyl.
Well, she had just said right there that she thought she was taking Oxy. Is that right?
Yes.
That discussion about an overdose, I mean, is that your assumption based upon her saying that she thought it was an Oxy and it was a fentanyl?
So you played 4 minutes of my initial interaction. I believe that there is more interaction with her specifically telling me that she had been taking Suboxone.
I just hit pause. We're gonna get into it.
Okay, so yeah, I don't know what exactly she said during those interactions, but you're asking me about just 4 minutes, and obviously I can't tell you in that time frame.
Gonna move forward. And you testified on direct examination about having a conversation with another officer. Is that right?
Correct.
And during that conversation, you discussed your observations and the evidence that you thought that you had of her being under the influence with that other officer. Is that right?
Correct.
But on direct examination, you couldn't recall the exact details of that conversation.
I did not memorize
Alright.
that conversation.
So, eyes, blood shot, classy. She said that she took some box. So, roadsides aren't bad, but based off driving actions and the eyes, I'm a little bit concerned. And then she pulled out of her pocket and she got out of the car a big ass torch. So,
I didn't see her eyes. That was fine.
yeah.
See,
Yeah, I'm just concerned about
it's so lovely.
it's what gets you off of opioids. So it's essentially like an opioid.
So what you told that other officer is it's essentially like an opioid, is that right?
Yes,
Okay, and that's a little bit slightly different than what you testified to here today, is that right?
correct.
So your perception the night of the stop was that Suboxone was essentially like an opioid?
That is what I discussed with a partner.
Okay.
I just was the driving and everything else. I'm not comfortable letting her drive. Unless I don't know if I should register. I'm wondering if Tyler's still awake.
And since when you said, I wonder if Tyler is still awake, would that refer by chance to Deputy Tyler Watson? And that's because you were considering reaching out to him, is that right?
I was considering reaching out to him as a DRE
Okay.
to come out and do a DRE evaluation.
Gotcha. You didn't do that though, did you?
I'm sorry?
You did not do that?
Freaking cold.
Reach out to him?
Yes.
Or I reached out to him. I did not make contact with him.
Okay, gotcha. But so you never made contact.
I did not make contact. I did reach out.
Okay.
And you know what's interesting? When I saw the RO of this car, I looked it up because I was like, is this a guy or a business? It comes back to Home Gun Clarence. Yeah. So look at this. Clarence Home Gun from Fairplay. It's the RO of this vehicle. It's her boyfriend. Look what they found in the car.
And when you're saying look what they found in the car, is that something from a previous stop?
Yes.
How long before you had interaction with Ms. Good was that previous stop?
I don't recall.
Okay.
It was while I was waiting to hear back from the several people I reached out to for DRE.
Should be able to,
And she admitted to using Suboxone this morning.
yeah.
I don't know how long that stays in your system for. I don't know. I don't think that she's okay to drive. Based off of what I'm seeing, the driving actions. She said that she's been on Suboxone for 2 years after she almost she almost died of fentanyl.
And again, that clip I played you earlier, you didn't say that she almost died of fentanyl in that, did she?
No, she did not.
2 years. So
Because Suboxone, you're supposed to, from my understanding, use it and then get off of it.
Your understanding was that you're supposed to use Suboxone and get off of it. Is that right?
Yes, as a treatment, as I said earlier.
You weren't aware that a course of Suboxone can include daily doses of that medication?
I was not aware.
Okay.
All right, so it says Suboxone can stay in your system for 7 days. Its half-life ranges from 24 to 42 hours. Detection times vary. Tablets peak in 1 to 4 hours. Films 3 to 4 hours. And injections 4 to 12 hours. Suboxone urine test every 7 days. Saliva fibers.
Yeah, I don't. It's driving actions and the pupils, the bloodshot, and her eyelids are baggy too.
Sure, 31, perfect, that is booking it.
28 Rutherford.
Parking.
The roadsides are okay. I don't know. She says she takes it once a day.
Okay, so during that conversation with the other officer, you and the other officer are trying to ascertain more information about the potential effects of Suboxone, learn more about Suboxone, is that right?
Yes.
How were you and the other officer doing that?
I don't know how he was doing it. He was not,
Okay.
he's not here to testify.
Sure.
But I was looking at drugs.org and trying to figure out how often you take it, the side effects that it has. You heard him talk about the half-life and how long it stays in your system sometimes. And so we were just trying to, because again, we're not experts in everything, trying to learn as much as we could about the substance.
And that's because you don't have specialized training in the effects of Suboxone.
I am not a DRE.
Okay.
Okay, do you know what the milligrams or
8
how?
milligrams.
8 milligrams?
Mhm.
Okay. So based off of what I'm seeing,
Mhm.
like I said, the eyes are very concerning to me, and that is what I'm trained to look for.
Okay.
Your pupils are extremely constricted.
Okay.
Your bloodshot watery, and your eyelids are very baggy and heavy.
I'm exhausted, but yeah.
Yeah,
that's fine.
so those are all evidence of opioid use. Which,
Okay. Yeah,
Yes.
Subutex, yeah.
yes. But coupled with the driving actions I saw,
Mhm.
I'm extremely concerned about letting you keep driving.
Okay.
Okay. So at this point, I'm going to place you under arrest.
For
Okay.
what?
For
All right, so at that point, you tell her that she's going to be placed under arrest, is that right?
Yes.
I'm just gonna handcuff you in the front for right now because we might be doing a chemical test of blood.
That's
Okay. So I'll explain that all to you once you get into the back of my car.
Okay.
So that way you can make that decision.
No problem.
Okay. Anything on you that's gonna hurt me, stick me, poke me at all?
No.
Okay. Go ahead and turn around for me.
All right, so this is when you're starting the search, is that right? Okay, and during that search is when you found those foils that contain the alleged controlled substances, is that right?
Yes.
So that search occurred after she was handcuffed and after you had raised the issue of a chemical test with her, is that right?
Well, I told her I would discuss that further and give her the option,
Okay.
but I wanted to let her know that I was handcuffing her in the front preemptively, so that way I didn't have to redo it a couple of times.
Okay. But you'd already made your decision to place her under arrest prior to conducting a search of her, is that correct?
She was in custody.
Okay. Just backing up to that conversation that you were having with other officers and then that summary that you gave, Good, you would agree that at no point did the word methamphetamine, any mention of methamphetamine come up, is that right?
By who?
By you?
I did not say the word methamphetamine.
Okay. When you were summarizing the evidence that you had and debating what to do next with the other officer, you never said, I think she's under the influence of meth.
I did not say that.
When telling her why she was being arrested, you never said, I think she was under the influence of meth.
I did not say meth.
Yet during direct examination, you were talking about the effects that methamphetamine can have on somebody's, the test results. Is that right?
I was asked a direct question.
Okay. Your Honor, I don't have any further questions at this point.
Thank you, Mr. Toffer. Mr. Matthews, any redirect?
Sergeant Young, did you notice anything about Ms. Good's speech? Was it fast, slow, or normal?
I don't think I noted anything involving her speech. I just stated that she seemed hyperactive.
And based on the totality of the circumstances, did you believe the defendant to be impaired by drugs?
Yes.
And the constricted pupils, what does that indicate?
It could indicate being under the influence of,
Same objection about expert testimony for the record, Your Honor.
Overruled. Go ahead and answer.
of an opioid.
Is it a physical manifestation of methamphetamine use?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that question?
Is it a physical manifestation of methamphetamine?
But, Your Honor, I'm going to object to relevance as well as under 403. I mean, the testimony that's been given is that she believed that there was evidence of opioid use. I mean, the meth is at this point, I mean, it's not relevant considering it's not something she ever articulated or ever even considered during the course of her investigation.
Overruled. Go ahead, Mr. Matthews.
Is that a physical manifestation of methamphetamine use?
Yes.
No further questions.
Thank you, Sergeant Young.
Your Honor, we don't have any evidence at this time.
Okay, let's go to argument. Mr. Toffer, whenever you're ready.
I think that the conversation, the debate between Sergeant Young and the other officer is notable. I think there's hesitation in there, and really what this is based upon is almost kind of a hunch and a gut feeling. I mean, when you look at the totality of the circumstances leading up to the arrest, there's just simply not probable cause to arrest her for a driving under the influence of drugs case. So really, the evidence that Sergeant Young is using to justify an arrest, using to justify the chemical test is observations of her eyes and observations of her driving over the course of 6 miles in an unfamiliar truck at 2:00 in the morning. Your Honor, she testified about the effects of meth. I'm going to ask the court to disregard that testimony because it was pretty clear from her other statements that she didn't actually believe that Ms. Good was under the influence of meth. Probable cause is certainly a higher standard than reasonable suspicion. Contend that there just wasn't probable cause to arrest her for a drug-related driving offense. The chronology of this is also important. I mean, I've questioned her about, I didn't object to testimony about the search of her person. I didn't I discussed that in cross-examination because it's relevant to one of the issues in my motion, whether or not this was search incident to a valid arrest. My argument is that it wasn't a valid arrest, therefore the search should be suppressed. But that evidence that was found in that search cannot be considered when looking at probable cause to arrest her, because that search clearly occurred after she was arrested. So for those reasons, Your Honor, we're asking the court to grant the motion to suppress.
Thank you, Mr. Toffer. Mr. Matthews?
Officer at 1:30 in the morning saw the defendant driving a vehicle without the proper equipment. Sergeant Young testified that she witnessed the defendant cross the double yellow line, the passenger side cross the white fog line, come back over the yellow line, cross over the fog line 2 more times, kick dirt up off the shoulder, cross over the double yellow line again, and then didn't use the turn signal when merging or turning. She said that the reason she believed the defendant to be impaired by drugs was the driving actions and the eyes. And the driving actions were weaving 6 or 7 times. That driving pattern is clearly significant. And this is a drug DUI, which is very distinct from an alcohol DUI. Field sobriety exercises are really meant to test impairment that alcohol would show. The indicators of impairment are just different with a drug DUI.
Thank you, Mr. Matthews. Let me start with some basic findings of fact. November 10th, 2025, about 1:30 a.m. on Highway 285, Sergeant Young with the Park County Sheriff's Office was following a dark-colored truck northbound. Sergeant Young did testify that she is not a drug recognition expert, has not taken the advanced A-Ride class, that she is certified in SFSTs, which focus primarily on drinking and driving, that she did not have any specialized training in identifying driving under the influence of drugs or drug use or the effects of drugs on someone's physiology or motor skills. That during the SFSTs, Ms. Good performed such that 1 clue was noted on a walk and turn test, no clues on the HGN, nor any clues on the one-legged stand. Sergeant Young asked if she could search the truck at some point, and Ms. Good declined to allow a search of her boyfriend's truck, not wanting to be responsible for that decision. Ms. Young was then placed in custody, presented with the option to take a blood test for compliance with the express consent. Some evidence of potential contraband was found after the arrest in one of Ms. Good's pockets, and contraband meaning the white crystalline substance on some folded tin foil the officer suspected was methamphetamine, but that substance was not tested on scene. So let's break it down. Reasonable suspicion for the stop existed. Yes, the officer indicating that she observed weaving on multiple occasions, sufficient to suspect a traffic violation. Was there reasonable suspicion to extend the stop into a DUID investigation? Borderline. The officer's testimony is, for the most part, credible, though it does appear that she had perhaps exaggerated some of Ms. Good's own statements, particularly recalling that Ms. Good had OD'd on fentanyl when that is not what Ms. Good had said, denying that the decision to arrest was in no way based on Ms. Good's declining the request to search the vehicle, but at the officer's vehicle, when she's talking with her fellow officer, she said she ran the RO, registered owner of the truck, and then it came up as some unusual owner, and then looked up a prior stop where something was found in the truck that was suspicious, leading the court to conclude that they being the officers, were hoping to access the truck to see if there was any additional criminality afoot. Based on the totality of the circumstances, where we have someone at 1:30 to 2 a.m. having crossed the fog line and center line multiple times. And let me back up. The officer's body cam video footage observed by the court shows that Ms. Good was responding coherently, did not appear unusually jittery or shaky or hyper or otherwise unusual in her demeanor. So based on the fact that the officer lacked any significant training in identifying the effects of drugs or the effects of drugs on a person's ability to drive, the fact that Ms. Good performed what I would say about as well as can be expected on any roadsides, one clue out of a potential 6+8+, I think 6 on the one-legged stand. No additional tests were performed to identify whether Ms. Good was under the influence of drugs. Court does conclude that the officer lacked probable cause to arrest. Therefore, the results of any blood work or search are suppressed, or any statements subsequent to the arrest. We are on for jury trial August 13th. We can add a status conference if the parties would like, unless we already
Yeah.
have one.
I'll just move to dismiss.
All right, the people's motion to dismiss is granted. The charges are both dismissed. Bond is released.